Today's episode is sponsored by Permanent Hearing Damage, which is a recording studio based in Philadelphia, owned and operated by Steve Roche from Seisha, Off Minor, Boer War, which you're hearing now, and many others. They've spent the last 25 years specializing in recording, mixing, mastering for punk, hardcore, metal, and related genres at artist-friendly prices. Some recent clients include Piers, Foxtails, Masanera, Closer, Rambo, Stinking Lizaveta, Sanagi, and Witching. Contact Permanent Hearing Damage via their website, permanenthearingdamage.com. Hello, and welcome to Everything Remade, a podcast that I hope is about growth as much as it is about music. I'm Edie Quinn, and we have a great show lined up for you today. Before we get started, though, I'd like to remind you about our Patreon page, which is at patreon.com/humanmachine. You can go there to sign up and support the show, read our zines, get music sneak peeks, and so much more. That's patreon.com/humanmachine. And today, we have a special treat for you. I'm absolutely thrilled to give you this exclusive sneak peek at an unmastered version of the song Hold Over Me by Splitt, featuring my new pal Yumiko on guitar and vocals. The song will appear on their forthcoming EP, I'm All In, which you can hear more about during our chat.
Ever since I was a small kid, even before I had my own music taste, I was always creative. I was always writing poems and things. Like when I was, I don't know, probably 6, old enough to write anything. But as far as music, I grew up in a household where, my mom is, Southern Baptist Black woman. Rock music was not allowed in our household at all, period. It was the devil's music. But then around 13, I heard Good Charlotte, and that was it. That was the first rock band I ever really listened to, and that was my defiance against my household and not being able to listen to it. But the band that made me want to start writing punk songs was the Distillers, Brody Doll. I'm looking at a poster of her in my room right now. She's a woman, and I thought she was so cool and screaming and playing guitar, and I picked up guitar to be like Brody Doll.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was that kind of like, was she the first instance where you saw what you saw in Good Charlotte or whatever, but it was a woman? Was that sort of like, was that like, patient zero for you as far as that went? Or was it just like, something about her particular energy that was like elevated over, other people that you might have been influenced by?
It was definitely her being like a woman, and Good Charlotte, like they play like pop punk. They were huge on the radio, but this was like no, the Distillers. They're a punk band, and she's like a woman playing like punk music, and like she's not singing melodies, she's screaming about it, and I just thought she was the coolest person ever. I still do.
Yeah, that's awesome. You and now you I want to back up. You say you were writing like as long as you can remember. Was that now? Was that like a thing that you were influenced to do? Like, were you read a lot? Like, or was this just almost like a second nature kind of thing?
Oh yeah, I definitely read a lot as a kid. I never spent time outside. I didn't like going outside. I still don't like going outside. I wasn't one of those, play in the dirt kind of kids. I was one of those, I will sit in my room for hours reading. And I guess the natural thing to do when you read like that is to write. And so I would write poems. I would write little stories all the time when I was a kid, all the time.
Okay, but you were like you were like conscious of like you're like I'm writing a poem. It wasn't like
Yes.
okay. Um, what what kind of like what were your like earliest influences as far as like I like poetry, I'm gonna write poems. Like what I'm just trying to get like I have three children and the youngest is now 12 and I like I don't know like I can't imagine like my 12-year-old like and they're smart. It's not that. It's just like I can't imagine them reading like Poe right now or something. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
what was it like because poetry that's such a specific thing and you're like I'm writing poems. So what were you reading that you were like yeah, I'm trying to get on this level or whatever.
Um, I read a lot of like Junie B. Jones and who's the other, like Beverly Cleary,
Yeah, yeah.
like the Ramona books and
Uh-huh.
things. But I also read a lot of Shel Silverstein,
Oh, sure, yeah. That I
and yeah, I think that's what ignited like poetry
yeah,
for me.
I don't even know why that didn't click to me because yeah, that that's a huge one. Like that's like the most accessible poet for kids, I guess, because um like obviously all his stuff is not poetry, but there are books of his that are like more or less collections of different things and I had one at some point like when my oldest was younger and been like damn like young children read this stuff that's like this making me feel some kind of way, you know what I mean, like
Mhm.
so yeah, I don't know why that didn't click, but also you mentioned Ramona and I have like my oldest like I have a drawing that she did probably when she was like 8 or 9, which is of Ramona, and it is like one of my like prized like pieces of art
Oh,
for many of my children. Like I have it like just like over, and like I'm not like I'm not like a scrapbook person. I'm like a scrap like paper person,
yes.
like so I have this little area where like I just have if I just pulled this stuff out, some like a rational person would be like you need to put these in something, but I'm just
Right.
like oh look at this, it like they're not trading cards, that I just
Yeah.
like I don't know, but
You know what you should do with them? You should. This is what I do because I'm also that way. I'm a little sentimental with things. I have like set lists and things or tickets. I make a collage out of them and I hang it up on my wall as art.
oh that's
So they're not
awesome.
just piles around my room.
Yeah, yeah. I have so I have like I have probably, I could say 7 or 8, but it's probably closer to like 15 or 20 of just different like collections of things, right? And like one of them is like, it's like when I'm like, because I do a label, so I'll do trades with my friends' bands or my friends' other labels, and so I have one collection that is like more or less, it's the little correspondences when your friend sends you a record or you send your friend a record, and it's like, like, hey Edie, I can't believe we've been friends this long or whatever, and it's from your friend that you've known in California, so I have like one collection that's like that, and then I have like this collection of drawings sort of, and various like handmade cards that my kids have made, and then I have like the the sort of tour flyer slash poster collection, and none of this stuff is to be the tour flyer slash poster thing is in like a big Staples bag. So that's the most like organized of anything.
Yeah.
The the notes one is like it's in a box, like a big box that has like some CDs and stuff, but it's like just all a bunch of paper in there, and all this
Yeah.
stuff that um like you like I need to tell my kids, like, don't just throw this away, like find a like a screamo archivist or something on Instagram
Yes.
that they'll want this stuff because they'll know what this is.
For
And
sure.
yeah, you could
Absolutely.
care less, but and that's fine, but yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, that's awesome that like this like path seems like so natural to you, and everything. So when you you got a guitar and you start learning, like, first of all, what was your first guitar? What was it?
Ooh, it was, I believe it was a first act.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked my mom for it, and she's like, she's not gonna learn how to play. I'll just get her the cheapest thing, and I believe it was a first act black and white electric guitar.
So was this like a Walmart pickup, like literally at
For
the?
sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
This is 2 episodes in a row that
Really?
has come up. First acts, yeah, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, it's wild. Like, as I mentioned before when we were talking about this, um, they apparently did make some, like, they had a couple models that obviously were not sold at Walmart's or whatever. But they had a couple models of like Les Paul copies that were legit, because like I was in a band and someone showed up with one, and I was like ready to laugh him out the door, and he was like, no, these
Yeah.
are like good, and he sat there and played it, and then I was like, holy shit, and I played it and I was like, holy shit. And but yeah, that's
Wow.
the general experience with the name First Act is, that's where you're getting at, and what also I
Yeah.
understood, it was like, yeah, they sold them at Walmart, and so that's cool. They were accessible to more people because, for like a long time, you could just literally only get guitars like at actual music stores, and they were super expensive, and you know uh, in a lot of people's cases, like myself included, when my kids have wanted instruments, like they haven't necessarily stuck with it, and um,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, you know, I, s- I sort of, it's weird because I have these conversations, and a lot of people were like, music was always at my house, and so there was guitars laying around, so I loved guitar, so I played guitar. And my kids are like the opposite. My kids are like, I'm so tired of music, I don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
So I guess it's 50-50 for that. But yeah, how were you, like, okay, I've got this now. Like, I'm getting started. Was it like friends that you had that also played that were showing you some stuff? Was it like guitar, like tab stuff? Was it like YouTube videos? How were you getting started?
So I started playing guitar when I was 14. So this was 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I was self-taught, obviously, because my parents didn't think, I was going to stick with it. And I don't know if they would have like spent the money on it anyway. So I was self-taught. I didn't really have a lot of people around to show me. I think I started with learning how to read tabs, which was easy enough once you figure it out. And I don't remember if YouTube was big on that yet. Now, if you go on YouTube, you can find every tutorial in the world for it, but
Sure.
I don't think in 2004 it was there yet. So I was just listening to songs that I wanted to learn how to play and looking up the tabs for it and going from there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a, there's such a, like, I don't, I couldn't personally put a date on it, but, just like music and the internet, like 2010 was such a, like, that was such a pivotal, it seemed like so many things sort of took off and happened then, as Bandcamp, Spotify, but
Right.
and then YouTube, because like it was, you know I remember like in 2004, like a friend put a song from a band I was in on YouTube, and it was like, I was like, what? How'd you do that? And I
Yeah.
sort of, it's just me being like naive about the whole thing, but also it was just like, wow, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of stuff like this on, you know what I mean, on YouTube or whatever. And
Yeah.
now it's like, if you put in the most obscure thing, like the most obscure band that you think no one's ever heard of on YouTube, and like you'll come up with like somebody, like literally, like they put the 7-inch record on their turntable and like filmed it or something, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is so um so like the last 15 years or whatever, it's been bonkers. And I mean, like like vocal coaching and everything else. And
Oh, for sure.
but yeah, so what were you like? You were you were just like looking up Distiller songs and figuring the tabs out and playing along to that, or were you like immediately like, I want to write my own songs? So you were in immediate like tinker mode.
Oh no, I definitely was not immediately like I can play these. I'm actually still to this day not a very good musician. I'm a very sloppy guitar player, which is fine. I started learning how to play Ramones songs.
Yeah, same.
Um, I was like just the power chords, and I actually had trouble strumming because of it. Because Ramones is just double downstrokes, so I got really good at that, but didn't really master strumming. But once you can learn a couple Ramon songs, I mean, you pretty much can write a song from there. So
Mm-hmm.
I started with Ramones and then started writing my little power chord pop punk songs.
Mm-hmm. It's it's funny, like like when I was learning, like I was really like obsessive about like, oh, like, you mentioned like this was all downstrum, and it was like, so to me, in my opinion, like in my eyes at that time, the only way to play this is exactly the way they played it. It's all downstrum. And
Hmm.
like, Metallica was like, a lot of Metallica was the same way. It was like all of it was like only downstrum. And um and then there was other stuff that I would learn like shortly after that, like, Bad Religion songs and stuff. And obviously this is like double picking like guitar and stuff. This is like fast stuff, and so you're playing that this way. And it it made it made me to where, like, to this day, like there are certain things that like I can only do one way, and there's certain things that I can only do a different way. And like my like the 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 girl who plays the other guitar in my band, like she was like I like she was like playing one of the parts like of our songs that I wrote, and like I play it like all down pick, and even though it goes like down the strings and back up the strings, it's all down pick to me, but I'm moving, and she was just playing it like fluid, like back and forth, and I was like, I don't know what you're doing. Like my
Right?
it like broke my brain. I was like, I don't know what you're doing, and like there was like this mild discrepancy between the part, and I was like, I literally can't figure out what you're doing wrong, because like I'm watching you do it and it's like breaking my brain. But like yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's such a interesting like like thing to think about, like the way that you learn something, and how it it's it's hard to break those, like old dog new tricks kind of thing, right? It's hard to break those habits or patterns or whatever, and I don't know, I'm curious, like if there's you know uh, some more knowledgeable like player or whatever that like could see what you write or whatever, that could be like, oh yeah, I can tell exactly what she plays like, because the like when she does this kind of thing, this is all downstrokes, or when she does this kind of thing, it's like this, and you know what I mean, like I don't know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing is super interesting to me, for like no reason except for the fact that I am interested by weird stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
But
that'd be so cool if someone ever noticed me playing enough to know like what I'm doing. Because there's one song that we have that will come out soon that is all for me, double downstrokes. And I would think it's so cool if someone ever pointed it out. I don't know if that will ever happen, but I would think that'd be really cool.
yeah, is that now, was that a conscious thing for you when you were writing it, or is it just like another one of those, this is the way that I learned to play these kinds of things, so when I wrote it, of course it's like that?
Um, I didn't mean for it to happen. I think when I was writing it, I just thought this would sound hard if I did double downstrokes. So yeah.
So it's like super chunky sounding and stuff, just like yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, it's, do you feel like there is a do you feel like there's a I don't know how to say this without like, I don't want to like, I don't want to like spill my own beans or whatever, but do you have like a if you had some kind of like a a mascot or something, if you had in your mind, if you're like, I'm gonna write this super mean, like it's all downstroked, this like really angry whatever, if you went somewhere in your mind, and it was like a cartoon, or like some kind of like Muppets or whatever, do you have like a almost like when I, my wife's like, oh, when you play drums, you're like Animal, and it's like, okay, Animal, that's a given, right? That's Animal, like Animal plays the drums. When somebody's behind the drums, you look. But I have a thing, like sometimes when I'm like, I want to write like a really gross sounding like whatever thing. I have like, there's a old Jim Henson's thing from when I was a kid, and I'm like, I like, this is from that. Do you have like I don't, you're like, no, nobody thinks like this. But
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. That is so interesting that you have that. I do not. And I was sitting here trying to think of something while you were asking, and I can't think of a single thing. The one that came to mind was like Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls when
oh,
she's
hell
like
yeah.
I want to be hardcore.
Hardcore.
I was like, maybe that's
Yes.
me because she's so sweet, but she's also real tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my like, okay, let's do like a homework for ourselves, but like also uh anyone listening. Like for homework, let's all like pick a character from fiction, like a cartoon character or like a Muppet or just, like claymation, whatever kind of movie that's like not actual people, or show that's not actual people, and pick somebody in it and write a riff that you think that they would write, and see like if you're just like writing stuff and you're just like having the time of your life, don't worry about it. But if you get stuck, just think about some ridiculous character and be like, how would this person, or like how would this character write like a tough ass riff or whatever, and like see what happens.
That's really interesting. That's a good way to get out of writer's block for sure. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's like I don't ever do that because I get stuck. I do it because I do it almost because it like makes me laugh, and like there's like if I because we play emotional music, right? And it's like, so you're not supposed to have fun, right? It's supposed to just, you're always supposed to be miserable, and you're always supposed to be whatever. But like, you're lying if you're not having fun. You're obviously having fun. That's why we keep doing
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like, yeah, like if I, if I like showed somebody the thing, there's two of them I can think of like right off the bat where I was like, yeah, this is this like fictional thing, like this is this riff. It's like it's by itself, like in the song I feel like it's like no one bats an eye, but by itself, like if I play this just on the guitar, like that is the goofiest shit like I've ever heard.
Right.
But it like it works, and it's and then when I hear it, like I'm like, dang, this song ended up like being straight up miserable, like lyrically and et cetera, but like that part still genuinely makes me happy, and it's such a weird thing to do. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're learning like Ramon songs, and you're sort of like, I guess that's like the end game is always like, well, I write like poems, and I write like, obviously this turns into lyrics, and so the end game is always like I want to write my own songs, I want to like be in a band. And we're all kind of just like building our confidence up for that, right, by like learning other songs and trying to get good, and everything like that. Like how long were you more or less like, yeah, like I'm not ready for that? Like, at what point were you just like, yeah, I want to start playing with other people, and so you started like trying to get together, friends, or joining like existing sort of bands or whatever.
I think I started writing songs for like an actual band. I was maybe 19 or 20, probably around 20-ish. Yeah. And I knew some friends who were in other bands and asked them, do you want to get together and play a show? I think our first show was at the Cat Cave in Decatur, an old an old house venue, I guess. Yeah, I just asked them. They were all in other bands, and I think we might have only played one or two shows, to be honest with you. But I think after that, I was like, okay, I can actually do this, and started forming other bands or joining other bands a couple years after that.
And when we were like chatting before this and stuff, you had sent me a couple links of things that you were involved in. But you're like, yeah, we don't like have any of that online anymore. It was this kind of like, were your first bands, was it all kind of like you're just feeling this kind of thing out, like, and there weren't like recordings or what, or was it just like everything only lasted like just long enough to play a couple of shows and that kind of thing?
Yeah, the band that I was first in that actually recorded things with, uh, it was the first band that I was in that ended up recording things was this band called Kid Brat. I started it with an old friend of mine, and they recorded songs after I got kicked out of that band. So I'm not on any of those recordings, and I didn't write any of this. When they kicked me out, I told them, "Okay, you can't play any of my songs." Then we were young and stupid, and
Yeah.
I've made up with some of them now, but they
Yeah.
had to, write new songs. And then the next band that did have recordings up, I joined as their bass player. This was when I moved to Calhoun, Georgia. I didn't really know anybody there, and I saw this one band play, The Making, and noticed that they didn't have a bass player. And I said, "Hey, do y'all need a bass player?" They said, "Yeah." So I went next door. There happened to be an antique store next door, and they happened to have a short scale bass, and I picked up bass to join that band. They had stuff recorded. I think the reason it's down now is one of the guys, the front man of that band. I just think he moved past that music by now.
Sure.
And then the other band after that, after I was in The Making, after that band split up, I started Pity Clap with some friends, and we recorded an EP, and it was out. Honestly, I just didn't want to keep paying DistroKid, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's not that I don't like those songs anymore. It's just, you know, I don't really care for it to pay
Yeah.
for it for people to listen to anymore. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm extremely like the like I've never done any of that because I don't know. One time when I was like little, I got in a fight with this kid. He was like my best friend, and I was mad at him, and his mom always drove us home from school, and it was like freezing and snowing and blah blah blah, and I refused to get in the car, and like his mom was like, well, you can have your pride and you can be out there freezing if you want, but like you can get in the car and be warm and blah 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 and whatever. And like I don't remember the whole thing, but like there's like I'm not like that as a person for like 98% of things, but there's a couple things where it's like the whole distro kid thing with like you that whole like we're gonna make it to where you have to pay somebody else to do this for you because like we're in, you know what I mean? It's like
Oh yeah.
it's the same. It's like it's the same reason why TurboTax, like you know, uh, uh, spends millions of dollars on government campaigns so that the government won't make it to where you can file your taxes for free easily. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's just this big fucking pyramid scheme, and I like uh, so at some point in like in or around like you know 2012 2013 or whatever, like Spotify was still pretty new, but you know before the war crimes division that they
Yeah.
opened and stuff, but they were like, yeah, we're going to do away with third party. You're going to be able to upload your music here for free and by yourself. And it was like, yeah, that's the fucking way it should be. Like you can do that on Bandcamp. Why can't you do that here? So I've just been so like, I would, so I get it. I get it. Just like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And like, if it's your current project, if it's, you know, that's a different thing. 'Cause maybe, It's like you're you're working towards something, you're building something, but like wow, like just that idea, like it drives me up a wall, like so like yeah, I get it.
Leave a message when you see me. I'll be right on down wrong. I get twist anything. Make it play along on stick. Can you give it to me straight? You lied through your teeth. When you said it felt good, the peace on my face. Good enough, girls, burn it to the summer. Up and down, changes like the weather I stick. Good enough, girls, burn it to the summer. Up and down, changes like the weather. I can change, I can get better. Do a thing, when you said it real, I'm sick. I'm stuck.
So that was like your first time, like where you recorded something, you released it, you said you were like dealing with the all the DistroKid stuff and everything like that. What, like, were you like, what were your immediate goals? Like, did you do physical releases? Were you like more or less like trying to tour on this like EP that you released at that time? Like what was your recording experience like?
We recorded. It was me and an old friend of mine in his like room, in his parents' basement, actually.
Okay.
And we actually didn't like our drummer didn't come in to play drums. My friend programmed the drums, and it sounded like programmed drums. I was ready to go forward with it, like do tours and things like that if we could. But that band kind of dissipated. The other members were in like other projects, and this was just like a side thing for them. And they were like actually very good musicians and in established bands in Atlanta. And we kind of just split up after that, which is fine. But it did mean that we didn't do anything else with Pity Clap. And it was pretty short-lived band. I don't know exactly how long, maybe a year, if that.
Was that the last like band that you were really a part of before Split Head?
Yes, and it's been several years, probably about 10 years now, I would say, yeah, since my last band.
Oh wow. What were you like? Was there a part of that dissolution of Pity Clap that like you're just like, I'm gonna chill on the band stuff for a while, or like was there just so much other stuff going on? Like,
I really don't know exactly what it was. I think it was a mixture of a lot of things. Debilitating self-doubt, probably the
yeah,
biggest one. Like like I said, I know I'm not a very good musician. I'm not a great singer, but I know I write fun songs that are sad and relatable. Um, and probably a little bit that it's hard to find people to play with, especially like, hey, do you want to play in a band with someone who's, not a very good musician?
yeah. Well,
I think
maybe don't
that's a
lead with
hard,
that, but
yeah, that could be a hard pull.
yeah.
But actually, Splithead started. I used to put on. I just put on the last one, a benefit show every year for Meow or Never, a local cat rescue, and every year for the past 5-ish years, me and a couple friends would do a cover set, and every year I'm like, well, next year we're gonna do originals. No, next year we're gonna do originals, and it's kept going until you know, I had some things go on in my life, some loss, some grief, and I was just like, no, now's the time. Like, if I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna make music, which is what I want to do, I gotta do it now. So,
Yeah. What out of those cover sets, what do you feel like the best one you did was?
I'm gonna have to say this past one, our first show with Splithead, we did. It was like half covers, half originals. So I think that one was the best one because we had a lot of the covers that we played were songs that we've covered before. So we had them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't like, it wasn't like a Halloween thing where you were covering like a specific band. It was just like different songs.
Yeah.
Oh,
It would
okay.
probably would have been a lot easier if we had covered a specific band, but nope. We
Oh, okay.
we all vote on the songs that we wanted to do and like narrow it down that way.
What what'd you cover?
This year we covered "Hey Jealousy." That
Okay.
one's a good crowd pleaser. We covered "Lazy Eye" for the first time this year. That was fun. We covered "She" by Green Day
Okay.
and "Decade Under the Influence."
I think I've done She, but it must have been, you know, it must have been going going on like 30 years ago. But
Yeah,
but I think
classic.
I think I've done that one. Yeah. Well, I do a covers compilation album every year, and it would be awesome for y'all to get a track on there. If
Ooh,
just saying,
absolutely.
maybe hit up Brian. Hey, Brian. Brian's gonna do a song. Like Dim's been on one before, and Dim's gonna be on this one, and this one is the 10th year that I've done this, so this one's gonna be a big one. So like, maybe
Ooh,
yeah, it could
that'd
be
be
cool.
awesome. Yes.
Yeah,
Dim did was it Saves the Day that he
yeah,
did?
yeah.
Yeah.
The j- uh, gin
Gin
tonics,
tonic
juice, rocks.
rocks.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't.
something like
Yeah,
that.
it was a great rendition of it. It was like exactly what this is, but it was like it wasn't just like this is a screamo version of it. It was like somewhere in between like Faithful and like there. It was really cool. It was one of my favorites from that year for sure.
Yeah, perfect blend.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's really awesome though. But so you like every year you were more or less playing with the same people at these covers things, and then you're like, "Hey, why don't we just like have some songs?"
Usually, yes. It's
Yeah.
always been me and my friend Blake playing bass. I don't think I ever asked him to do it. I think I always just told him that he was going to do it. And he's just
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, why
Um,
not?
and it was used to be my friend Nick who drummed, and we always had somebody else doing lead guitar. But yeah.
Okay. And so you so when you had been doing covers, and then you're just more or less just like, well, I've been writing like we should just have a proper band, and I've been writing like these songs, and like how how did you like what was your process as far as like, was it like, well, I want to get like 3 or 4 songs together before I sort of say, hey, are y'all into doing this like a proper band thing? Or like, how did, or were you just like, when you're like rehearsing these cover songs and you're like, hey, check, what do y'all think of this? Like, how did it come about exactly?
I know, like for the past couple years, I always say, like after our set's done, I always say, next year I'm gonna write originals.
Right.
But Splithead actually came about because, like I said, I went through like a heartbreak, and that's when I started actually writing songs. And I had the idea that I wanted to write each song with a different friend of mine. So I would always have a drummer and a bassist, Blake. But I wanted a different lead guitarist on every song, and that's what's happening. So our one song that we have out, Jorts Mansion, was with my friend Price. Hold Over Me, which is going to come out soon, is going to be written with my friend Matan. And so every song on the EP is written with a different person
Oh,
or
okay.
different lead guitarist. And like I said, again, I don't think I asked Blake to be in the band. I think I just assumed and
Okay.
told him that he was. Drummers are notoriously hard to find, but I asked my friend Mike Costa if he wanted to do it. He's a great drummer. He is the drummer for Bomb the Music Industry and Arrogant Sons of Bitches, and he is down to do it. And then, yeah, for lead guitar, it's a different friend each time. But my friend who's going to play shows with us is Price, who plays on Jorts Mansion.
Oh, okay. And there was there was a thing where you were talking about like the person who plays drums in the video is not the person who plays drums on the record, or there was something to that effect. So you said Blake, right? So does Blake play bass and drums on the record, and then you got this other person that's like in the band now, or how did that all work out?
So no, Blake just plays bass, but my friend Mike,
Mike,
he's
right?
he's our actual drummer, and he's the one that recorded with us, and he's the one that going forward he will be the one playing shows with us and
Okay.
things. It just the day that we were gonna shoot the music video, Mike couldn't do it.
Okay.
And so I had like this arbitrary timeline in my head of like when I wanted the song and music video to come out and when we could all be there. And I was like, well, Mike, you could be the next one. I just
Okay.
need to have this video out. And he actually didn't play our first show either. He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. Drummers, you know?
So you had a stunt drummer for the video,
Yes.
essentially. Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't that I couldn't work that timeline out just like with the other things bouncing around in my head. But yeah, so that's really like you've essentially you've written the core of the songs, and you've played them with like the core band, and then you're like working with one other guitar player for each individual track. Or does the rest of the band not even see the track until you've worked it out with the other guitar player?
So so drummer, bassist, and Price, who is only the lead guitarist on one song, I send them, I like record it like on my little Focusrite, just guitar and vocals and with like the loop program drummer. And I send it to everybody, and then I ask whichever friend I think would be great at helping me finish it out or writing a lead over it. I send it to them as well, and I say, "Hey, do you want to write over this, or do you want to help me write this?" So everyone hears like the bass of like the basis of the song, and then it will come together. Like for Jorts Mansion, Blake didn't write his bass part until he was recording. And,
Okay.
Yeah, and Mike, our drummer, he didn't write his drum part until like the night before. So they've heard it. They just
Yeah. It's just
you
like,
know,
yeah, let's see what happens. Let's
Yeah.
wing it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I do like a lot of this stuff. Like myself, I have plenty of albums that I've done entirely myself, and I've talked about my different processes. And there is for sure like there is for sure like a good argument to leaving a door open. You know what I mean? Just to
Yeah.
like, just to see what happens, you know?
Exactly.
If you're paying someone a lot of money to record you, however, maybe not. Maybe have your stuff, dialed in and ready to go. But
Right.
yeah, it's so you were talking about like there's another song that's coming out soon, and like I know the EP is going to be 5 songs total. So is this like, is it not even like fully recorded and finished, or?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Because you have a date set. It says, it
Yeah.
says September 5th.
Yep.
So this is like, you have like various timeline, like you were talking before about like an imaginary timeline with the video. So you obviously have these other sort of like calendar events with like some kind of checklist, like these things need to happen, and then we'll be ready by the 5th. Is
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The 5th is a purposeful date. I won't blast why I picked that date, but
Okay.
it's definitely a purposeful date. But yeah, we have 2 of the songs fully recorded with Brian. One of the songs, the other song that's going to come out soon, I don't even know what the lead sounds like. I'm still waiting for Matan, my friend. I'll put them on blast to send Brian their lead. One of the songs, the song that's going to end the EP, was actually the first song I wrote for Split Head, and I'll put my friend Johnny on blast. He's had this song for like a year, and I've even rewritten it since I've sent it to him, and he still has not sent me his part either.
It's
And the
gonna
other
be
two
good.
songs,
Yeah.
it's gotta be good.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
other 2 songs, I have bits and pieces of it. I just have to finish it, and I'm gonna have to like finish it this week or next week, very soon. But I think like the coolest part and the reason why I wanted to do it this way with writing it with a different friend is because I don't know what it's gonna sound like. I have no idea what our song that's coming out in a couple weeks is gonna sound like in the end. And I think that's really cool. A little stressful. Getting a bunch of punks to do anything is hard. But I
Yeah.
think it'll be really cool, like hearing how it sounded when I wrote, just my rhythm guitar and my vocals and what it sounds like at the end. It's, I think it's really cool. It happened with Jorts Mansion, and I didn't know it was going to sound like that, but I'm really happy with how it came out. And I think probably all the songs are going to sound different. Maybe not to everyone else, but to me, it'll sound super different because
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. I mean, having like one engineer, do everything, like that'll make it cohesive for sure. But like,
Right?
you as the person who was there from, this was just a vocal and a guitar and some looping drums, like you'll for sure be like, yeah, this is all the ways this changed. Yeah, you don't have to tell me about. I have a project where I recorded um, I recorded one set of guitars and drums for I think it's 28 songs. It's hard. It's fast hardcore punk, and 42 other people played instruments and or did vocals on it.
Wow.
And it was like it's like when you're sick, how it's like the worst thing in the world, but then like after some time you're like, oh, being sick is like, yeah, it sucks, but it, like the memory of it isn't, it's kind of like that
Yeah.
with that, because I'm like about to do another one and I'm just like, what am I like, what am I getting my, because it took like a year and a half to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, what do you like, what do you expect, it's like 40 something people, and
Exactly.
yeah, but it was, I mean, in the end it was awesome. It was like, come on, like what, how, like how lucky are we to where we live in a time where you can even conceive of, yet alone like actually do something like that, you know?
Right?
Like,
Exactly. We
that's
only have this one life. Why not write an album with 40 of your friends?
right, right. But I mean, but like my other side to that is like, just like 15 years ago, this would have had like a budget, like a Michael Bay film or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind of thing, like to do like at an actual studio, and like and people had to fly in to do their, like that would be unheard of, you know. But like
Right?
now we can just like hit up our friend and be like, send me guitar parts, and it's, you're
Absolutely.
like, geesh, like what kind of like look, there's a lot of reasons to not feel blessed to be living in the world we're living in right now. So like when you find those couple reasons where you're like, damn, like what a time to be alive, like really grab them and do everything you can with them, right? You know, so
Absolutely.
yeah. Um well, yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing how the other songs turn out. The
Me too.
Jorts Manor, like, is it has such a, you know, when you say Distillers, I'm like, okay, yeah, that tracks 100%. Like I get
Yeah.
that, like this is someone who like came from sort of that school of like, this is why I want to make music, you know.
Yeah.
And also like the down picking, you're like, yeah, this has like a sort of a chunky, like angular, you know, super pissed off like feel and stuff. And it's funny because you keep like it says on y'all's Bandcamp too, I think, or is it the Instagram page? It's something like it's like sad, and it's like I don't get that from the song at all. I get pissed.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
what I get, and like
Nice.
I'm here for it. But is that like, it's just because I've only heard one song? Like the other songs are more like, there's just a lot more dynamic and like variety between the tracks, and therefore that's why you like, reach out to this specific friend because of this, you know, and that kind of thing.
Um, sort of. They, to me, they all sound like, I mean, songs that I wrote. And I think they all like might. So the lyrics are all sad, but I think me yelling them makes it, angry, and also like the guitar behind it makes it sound angry. And maybe it's both. Like I said, I was going through a heartbreak, so I was both pissed and really, really sad at the same time. But I think I'll pick a friend that I want to write a song with me. No particular reason. I just will sit and think, I think Johnny could write like a really cool lead over this. Like I know Johnny, he writes like twinkly guitar, and I thought Price would be good for Jorts Mansion because he likes just straight punk, and I think he'd like do well with like writing something simple but catchy over it. I think it's just because I know my friends really, and I think I know the direction that they would go with it, but also maybe not.
Yeah. So when you like got these 5 songs, and so the vision for the whole thing was an EP the whole time. You said that the last song is like the first song you wrote. Was when you wrote that, are you like, was that the goal? Like, I'm gonna write like 4 or 5 songs. We're gonna do an EP.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
did you have like, was it like a number, like we're gonna do 5 songs, or was it like you keep talking about like this experience you were going through? Was it a more a matter of like, when I feel like I'm done processing that, then the EP is done? Like, how did you decide these are the songs? Like, okay, no more songs. Like, we're going with these, and then we'll take it from there.
Completely arbitrary, I think. I was like, I think 5 songs is good for an
Okay.
EP.
Yeah.
Easy doable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally arbitrary.
Did you have a like, like you've mentioned like this breakup, so this was sort of like a catalyst in a way for this particular EP. Was there a when you when you're like getting down to the lyrics, are you like, these are the things that I need to get off my chest, these are the things I need to like get out of my system so I can, move past this, like, with these 5 songs, were you like, okay, like, so this one's like kind of gonna be kind of like this, and this one's gonna be kind of like that, like, was there an overall like theme, and like, did you write the lyrics like to be like front, middle, and end, like, or was it just also arbitrary in that, like, these are the songs and they'll be what they'll be, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, definitely the latter.
Okay.
When I start writing a song, like the lyrics, whatever the first couple lyrics I come up with, whatever that theme is, I'll try to stick with that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because like, excuse me. Yeah, I didn't. I just, I didn't know if like, there seems to be like so much intention behind, like, you keep mentioning, like, well, not keep, but you mentioned that the date is a specific, there's a reason for the date, and so, and then like, obviously for you to have all these moving parts but still be like focused on that date, there's so much intention behind like the release. So I just was curious if there was like all of these other aspects of it were also, because like, you have a video for the song like straight out the bat, like
Yeah.
the first song, so you were like really like planning a lot of this, and you were like ready to go on some of this stuff, like, was that also, you were just like, the minute we release this first single, like, we're gonna have a video for it, like, was that before you even hit record, but that was part of the plan as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So everything first is with the EP is intentional and about the breakup, like the name of it, some of the names of the songs, the cover art for it, the release date, everything is intentional with that. And actually, I wanted to make videos for every single song off the EP. Now I don't think that's really doable because that's asking a lot of time and energy from my friends. But I actually love making videos. And that's why I wanted to have a video ready to go off the bat. I love editing videos. I have a film degree, and this is what I'm doing with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I have always wanted videos to be a part of it.
What do you like about like editing videos? Is there a specific thing, or it's just like because you have that degree and you're like, and this is like your passion, and so you get it to put that knowledge into use, or is there like a specific thing that's intrinsic to music and music videos that you're like gets you really invested in that specifically?
I like editing videos because it's annoying and time consuming, and there's something wrong with my brain that I love that. But I also like doing it myself. I like doing all the stuff myself, DIY or die. I like when bands have like videos that are fun to like. I want someone to want to listen to the song, but be like, oh, but let me watch the video instead of streaming it. Even though like Jorts Mansion, there's nothing like exciting going on in it, but I want people to like be like, no, let me watch the video instead. I like having that visual part to
Yeah.
it as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool because like you know there's obviously there's a million things that people can do, like to make a visualizer or a video, of with their songs. I I've only tried this once, and one of them got there was a comment on one of them that like made me pretty much like not even like read comments on anything anymore.
Yeah.
But it was like I literally was just like this this album, this LP is coming out. All these people invested all this money. Like, I have like a small child that's doing like videos on an iPad in iMovie. Like, I should I should try this. And it was something that, I mean, I grew I'm an old head, so like I grew up like MTV was actual videos, and I grew up like uh Smells Like Teen Spirit, like seeing that for the first time, like
Yeah.
on like 120 minutes or something, and being like, holy shit. And so I, you know I, I'm however I'm however many years old, and I'm just like, I should just try that. And it was just like the meanest thing. And I was like, and it wasn't even that mean, but I was just like, okay, I'm really dumb. But
No.
but I did one not that long ago, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. But I was like, this is footage that I took while I was on a European tour, and that was fun. And so, that's cool. But gosh, your video is like, there's like, so I feel like it's like, okay, you're just playing the song, you're just shooting the band, playing the song. And I feel like there's a lot of scenarios where that's not that fun to watch, or it's like you watch a lot of them and you're like, that these people are really overdoing it. I don't, if does that make sense? Like, where you're like,
Right.
there's no way these people are even possibly even playing these instruments like when they're like going that hard.
Yeah. For sure.
So it's like, it's cool because like you're like, yeah, this is such a simple premise, but it's still interesting. Like, was that something that the person who shot the video was just like, this is what we're gonna do, or was this your idea? Like, how like how did all of that come about?
So my friend that I shot the video with, shout out Alex. Me and Alex actually, oh, no, this is not embarrassing. Whatever. I post a lot on TikTok.
Okay.
Just like silly little videos, and he's helped me with a bunch of them. And he works in film. And I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to shoot this music video? Actually, not sure if I asked him. I think it was the same thing as Blake, my bassist. I think I told him that we were going to do it. And I was like, he works, like I said, in film. So I said, where can we shoot for free? And we're going to do everything for free. I'll edit it, obviously, for free. So that just so happened to be the place that we could shoot for free, and all went from there.
And it's like a abandoned like warehouse kind of like, what, I'm not exactly what was happening there.
It's not abandoned. It's a big. It's connected to a recycling center.
Oh, okay.
So it's behind it. And someone, like, one of Alex's friends was like, yeah, we won't be here that day, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like, I can't remember the name of this really awesome venue that we played in Atlanta, like one of the last times we were there, where it was like this enormous like compound of like, it was like flea markets and whatever. And it was just like behind this like huge, like, it was in this like huge gated facility, and there was just like there was just like not fields like surrounding it and stuff, but it was like it almost felt like this was like an abandoned like industrial area almost, kind of. And I was just like, if you told me like, oh, we filmed it where this place used to be or something, I'd be like, oh, that tracks. But
Yeah.
probably a million places like that around. But is
Yeah,
that,
I'm trying to think, but I
yeah,
can't put my finger on it.
yeah, I would never remember something as specific as that, like just off the, like, I don't know. Um, is that like you were talking about, like you posting on TikTok? Is that where the sort of like, what's it called? Like you have like sort of a, I don't know if you call it a program or a thing, like the Sicky Sippies. Is that
Oh yeah.
like, I don't want to call it a bit. I don't know.
You could
Like,
call it a fitness.
okay. But yeah, I came across that because, you had that thing where Dim was on there. And
Yeah.
so is that just like a thing you started doing where it's just like my friends are in these bands, so I do this like clip with them where we're like drinking like this thing, and like it's a bit. Um, it,
Um, that actually came about because me and my friend Alex, we like to shoot videos together. Military Gun, the band Military Gun, they sent out like these little, essentially Kool-Aid packets with their record that they put out recently. And I'm a nerd. I'm in their Discord, and someone in their Discord said, "Hey, mix this packet with Fernet and White Monster." So me and my friend Alex made like this really cute video of us making the drink and chugging it, and that was really fun for us. And we were like, let's keep doing that, but with Atlanta bands and asking them Atlanta questions. And that was that from there. We want to do more, but we're both busy, and I need to like buy a microphone for it now because we want to make it bigger and better. But that started because a Military Gun.
yeah, that's awesome. It seemed like it seemed like such a natural, like sort of like hanging out after after a show we played together kind of thing or whatever. So like it, yeah,
Yeah.
it would be a cool thing to sort of be able to, like more or less like on location, or whatever. Like yeah,
Yeah.
we just played this show and now we're doing this thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm really excited about the EP. I hope that the rest of it is as stress free as possible, and you're able to meet all your self imposed deadlines and goals and stuff. I mean, um, I say it like self imposed, like to offer you the sort of like grace that I don't allow myself if I don't make my self-imposed deadlines. But
Exactly.
it is like, yeah, I
May
also
I
am
ask?
like one of those people, and maybe this is kind of your thing too, where it's like I need to have a deadline because
Yeah.
yeah. But
May
yeah.
I ask? Do you know what your big three are, like zodiac wise?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have theories that ours might be
Okay.
aligned.
Okay. Yeah, we can figure that out after the fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like it's, you know, I feel like I should know by now because, like, as far as Instagram is concerned, I am definitely like a zodiac girl. Like I am. It is sending me
Right.
nothing but those like Pisces, if like Pisces,
Exactly.
it's sending me nothing but that stuff anymore. So like, in theory I should know this already, but yeah, like I said, looking forward to all of that. You said there's another song coming soon. Do you have a date for when people will be able to hear that?
Yes, a less arbitrary date, or a less exact date, but before the end of this month. So in a couple
Oh, okay.
weeks.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I've had a great time chatting with you. I try to keep these about an hour, and that's where we're at. I think that we've like we've said a couple times that The EP will be out on September 5th, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Is there anything that you did want to talk about before we take off, though, that we didn't talk about?
No, but thank you so much for having me. This is so fun.
And now is my conversation with Yumiko from Splitt. Thank you so much, Yumiko, for taking the time to chat with me. I'm really looking forward to that EP. Thanks to all of y'all for listening wherever you are as well. Until next time, take care and do good things.